So let's go ahead and get started then. We're going to start talking about how to generate sales with gifts using custom transfers. So number one, this is the obvious one. This is the one that hopefully everyone's thought of. T-shirts and sweatshirts, obviously, pretty simple stuff. But since we are the decorators, we are the people with the heat presses, it's easy for us to make one-offs. It's not like a screen printer who's not going to want to do a one-off type situation, or embroiderer who's not going to be excited about the idea of doing a one-off. As a heat press owner, we have the unique ability where we can do those smaller runs for a much more cost-effective price than somebody like a screen printer or an embroiderer. But it's goes without saying that T-shirts are always going to be the old standby, whether we're talking about full fronts, we're talking about little kid shirts, we're talking about jersey-style shirts, we're talking about the billboard prints that are super popular right now. T-shirts and sweatshirts always make a fantastic gift, and here's what I would challenge you to do. Not just, get beyond the fact that it's a plain old T-shirt, but what can you put on the T-shirt? A great example, my father owns a business. If you've ever joined me before, you know that I do mention that periodically. I'll talk about my father's business, and a couple years back, my mom thought it would be a lot of fun to get some shirts embroidered with my father's logo on it, so that was a great Christmas gift for him. Some shirts for him and his employees. So new businesses especially, that's a fun way to incorporate what we do into a gift for them for the season, is shirts for businesses, that sort of thing. Spirit shirts are also a big thing too for your local high school, especially if you're in that area of the country where the local high school sports is what everybody lives and breathes. Then Spirit shirts for that community is another fantastic way to go for gift ideas this season. And the other way to look at it, too, is here at Transfer Express, we offer what we call express names. Now, you'll notice that the picture on the right that says, "I'm a leader," we have the words express names under that. We created that shirt just using the express name product. See, express names are just a strip with a name on it. That's what they're supposed to be used for, is like a player name. But you don't have to use it for a player name. You can put whatever you want on that strip. So for the example here, we put "I'm a" on one strip, so that's one express name, and then "leader" on a second express name. So for the cost of two express names, we were able to create this shirt. So express names are a great way of creating some cool shirts for gifts, and I will fully admit that I am a guilty party for this one. If you are a friend or a loved one of mine, you will probably get a T-shirt for Christmas, and I will probably have used express names to create some kind of fun or goofy saying. And what's great about it is the express names are so cost-effective that it justifies being able to do a one-off T-shirt, especially if you have a fun, funky, out there saying, something fun to put on a T-shirt and it's just text. So definitely some ideas here, and I know T-shirts are sort of the one that everybody thinks of. So I promise the next 14 ones we're going to get creative with some of these. So don't think that I'm going to show you a whole bunch of the basics here. We're going to get into some neat stuff. The next one here is shorts. So shorts are another fantastic option for gift ideas, especially when we're talking about the jock in your life. Whether it's basketball or it's football or it's baseball, whatever the case may be, shorts are a popular item, whether it's actually basketball shorts for a basketball uniform or it's some kind of spirit short, because there's two different directions you can go with this, of course. If you have a basketball player in your life, I have a cousin who's a basketball player. We thought it would be real fun a couple Christmases ago, a couple seasons ago. We decided it'd be fun to do a actual basketball uniform for he and his group of 4 buddies that play basketball all the time. So we did up some jerseys and some shorts for them, and it was the whole group of them. It was their gift for the season, and that was a real fun way to incorporate screen printed transfers, because obviously doing just 4 pairs of shorts and 4 T-shirts, it's going to be a tall order for a screen printer. It would be pretty expensive to pull that off. So the standard size for short prints like this, there is actually, if you were to call into our call center, we don't have what you would call technically a standard short size, but we tend to find that 4 by 4, maybe 4 inches by 4 inches, 4.5 by 4.5, tends to be a good starting point for short sizes. And now this is not considering the lacrosse one that's at the top right there. That lacrosse one is kind of a different situation, that being a vertical design as opposed to a square or horizontal design. But if you start at the 4x4 point, you take a ruler to your leg and give it a measure and compare. Obviously, if we're talking youth shorts, then you want to go a little smaller than what your leg might be, but 4x4 is a good place to begin there. And if you've joined me in the past, you know I like to encourage everybody to think outside the box for where you apply your transfers, to not just go with what's normal. That's why I love the lacrosse one that is at the top right of the page there. That lacrosse application is a great example of how you don't have to do what everyone expects you to do with a pair of shorts, which is to put that small square design on the left leg rather, sorry. Just a small square design on the front of the left, that's kind of boring. This lacrosse design is a great example of how you put it down the side and you make something vertical, and it's a great way of making it interesting, making it fun. And it occurs to me as I'm seeing some of your chat boxes pop up, folks, I forgot to mention, if you have questions, please do feel free to type them into the chat box there. The lady behind the curtain is Sue from Transfer Express. Sue is manning the chat box. She's going to be answering your questions. If I happen to notice something pop up, I will do my best to answer it, but Sue's the lady who's going to get all those taken care of. So please feel free to ask questions, and Sue and myself will get back to you as we go here. But anyway, so when we're thinking shorts, don't think just plain old square design, front of the left, whatever. Get creative with it. Vertical down the side of the shorts. Now, this is easy to do. All you got to do is make sure to measure your shorts, see how much space you're working with, and we have vertical designs made specifically for the purpose of going down legs and arms and sleeves and all that kind of stuff. So our idea book is full of this kind of stuff, so definitely something to think about, something to spice up your designs just a little bit. This is a funny thing. Now, I am going to date myself here, but when I graduated high school, the whole flannel pants thing had just started to get popular. And I can honestly say I'd never seen somebody wear yoga pants in public before, so maybe I'm dating myself a little bit here, but sweatpants, yoga pants, flannel pants, these are super, super popular. They continue to be one of those trends in our industry. If you don't do these right now, it is definitely something to think about. Even outside of gift season, even if we're just talking about your business in general, this is definitely a hot offering, especially if you're going to do anything like sports, cheer, spirit wear, that kind of stuff. Definitely something to think about. Now, we're showing you a couple different options here, but down the leg is obviously one of the best options here when we're talking about pants. You could go the whole vertical concept. I don't have a vertical one pictured here, but you could stack the letters vertically so they're read top to bottom. Or, of course, you can do down the leg. Now, all these designs that you see here, including the chevron pattern, all these designs you see here are all easy print designs, meaning they're out of our idea book. So the woman in the middle here who's wearing the Morristown Badgers swim, you'll notice that swim has the chevron pattern in it. That's pretty clever. Whoever came up with that, the chevron pattern, the word swim, like waves, get it? Yeah. The chevron pattern is a no-cost addition to anything out of the idea book. We have a whole selection of patterns in the idea book, chevron and tiger stripes and leopard spots and all that fun stuff. And you can add the patterns into a layout, and it doesn't cost you any extra. So that goes without saying for all the layouts, not just the pants ideas here that I'm talking about. But pants continue to be a super popular option. Flannel pants, you'll see the plaid pants that are all over the place, especially if you can find plaid pants that are the same colors as the local school. Then you've got a really hot ticket item, especially if you've got a retail shop. If you are operating a retail shop in a particular town, that is a fantastic item to have in your front window or have displayed in your shop somewhere. And it's pretty easy to find that kind of stuff. So, so yoga pants, sweatpants, flannel pants, all that whole genre of item is a great customizable item. You can throw a school name on there. You could throw a company name on there. You can even throw, of course, we've all seen them. You could throw the fun saying on the back of the pants. We've all seen those. Somebody's got the funny saying on the back of her pants. So definitely some fun gift ideas there. Caps. Caps. Now, if you don't have a cap press, I'm gonna start the slide by mentioning that if you don't have a cap press, you do need a cap press to be able to press a hat. You can't press a hat on a plain old shirt press. Um, or it might be physically possible, but it won't be fun to achieve. A cap press requires a curved platen, like the shape of the cap is curved. So you do need a cap press, but caps are a great option too, because everybody needs a hat of some kind. And if you're going to wear a hat, why not wear something that says what you want on it? Again, this is a great option for the small businesses or business owners out there. If you have people coming into your shop who are business owners, or you have anybody in your life who's a business owner, this is a great, great Christmas item here. I am also guilty of this particular strategy, using caps as a Christmas present for that time of year. So, bear in mind, there's a couple things that are recommended. Now, you will find in the cap community that you've got 6-panel caps, you've got 5-panel caps. Is it possible to put a transfer over either one? Yes, you can put a transfer over a 6-panel or a 5-panel hat. My personal suggestion, if you're looking for input, I prefer to use 5-panel. A 5-panel hat means that it does not have the seam going up the forehead. So I would definitely suggest the 5-panel without that seam. But you can still press over a 6-panel hat. It's still doable. You just got to be careful about that seam, not to overpress the transfer. And the CAD prints work a little nicer than the screen prints there, in my humble opinion. But so caps definitely a great idea. And think outside the box with caps too, because you don't have to stick with just your plain old style baseball hat. If you have the proper cap platens for your cap press, you can do the low crown caps, you can do the trucker caps, you can do the I've seen out there popular right now, the Fidel Castro style hats. Just a different shape, a different look to them. So definitely some neat tidbits, and they're all heat pressable. They're all doable. All it takes is just making sure you have the right cap platen for the size of the hat that you're doing. So definitely some fun ideas. Caps don't have to be the way they were. And another think outside the box moment here. Why not press on the bill of your cap? Now, it's not super popular to do that. It's not the hip thing necessarily, but it's another way to get outside the box. If you're going to press something on the front of the hat, why not have some kind of small piece of text, small piece of clip art to press on the bill of the hat? All it takes is a little bit maneuvering with your hat press, and it's totally doable. So another fun little idea to put out there. Shoes. This is one of my absolute tape. There you go. This is one of my absolute favorite ideas for this season, because this is so cool. I love when we go to the trade shows and we take the shoe platen with us, and people look at it, and when you're looking at just the shoe platen, you're not sure what it is, because it's kind of shaped like a U, but it's got a piece coming out the middle of it. It looks really weird. People oftentimes look at it and go, "What in the world are you pressing with that?" And then you get out a shoe, you load the shoe on there, and it's really funny to see people's reactions. Shoes are obviously something everybody needs, and if you have a shoe that has enough space on the side of it that you can accommodate a design of some kind, like you can see here in the picture, the pink Keds that we've got here are definitely a great example where we don't have a lot of room, but we certainly do have some space that we can customize. Now, the white high tops sneakers in the background, those are obviously optimal if you've got a big canvas to work with, but doesn't have to be. You'll notice the sandal in the middle there is another item. Now that has a CAD print on it as opposed to a screen print transfer or a rhinestone transfer. But definitely doable. And all of this is made possible with the shoe platen that you see kind of stuck in the back there, that gray thing sticking up behind the white sneakers. Now, you have to be careful. Make sure, obviously, that you buy the proper kind of shoe. You don't want to get something that's going to have plastic on the sides of it and melt. So be sure that you're decorating the correct kind of shoe. But as long as it's something that's going to take the heat, you can do all sorts of fun stuff. Hence the cats that you see on our pink Keds there, the cats that have the rhinestones on it. For those of you in the audience who are not aware, we just started printing custom rhinestones here at Transfer Express. So we can offer that to you as well. And how cool is that to have your school's mascot on some shoes? This is definitely a neat item to offer to your schools too. If you do purchase the shoe platen, this is a fantastic item to offer to spirit wear for the school, for the cheerleaders, that kind of thing. You can be sure that it's not something a lot of your competitors are going to be offering to schools, because this is relatively new to our market. We haven't had the shoe platen out for too long, so definitely a fun idea. Bags, bags everywhere. If you've listened to my webinars, I've said this a couple times. Bags are always one of the best things to press on. The bag that's in the middle of the slide here that says "Save More Market," that is a polypropylene bag. Now, I'm sure if I asked for a raise of hands, all of you who have melted a polypropylene bag onto your heat press, I would get a decent number of hands raised. And I will admit, I am an expert in the industry with 15 years under my belt, and I myself have melted more than one polypropylene bag in my time. In my defense, I did not know what they were way back when. But anyway, the polypropylene bags are a great item for this time of year as a giveaway, something that's fun to gift. My mother collects those. She has polypropylene bags from every grocery store in the area. I think she does it on purpose. But the polypropylene bags can be easily pressed on using our ElastiPrint transfers. The ElastiPrint transfers are pressed at 275 degrees, which is below the polypropylene melting point. Polypropylene usually melts around 300 degrees, give or take-ish. So if you use the ElastiPrints, which go on at 275, you ensure that the ElastiPrints aren't going to melt your polypropylene. So that's a great item. But aside from the polypropylene, here's what I would tell everybody. When you're thinking bags for gifting, get outside of the tote bag area. I remember 10 years ago when you would look into the wholesale catalogs in our industry, you would see just pages upon pages of tote bags. But these days you can find some really neat lunch coolers. You can find some really neat messenger bags. Now, I will also admit that I am that guy. I do carry a messenger bag, and I love the idea of customized messenger bags. I always press transfers when I get a new bag. I always make sure to press something cool on the front of it. It is definitely a fun option to have these customized messenger bags. And again, this is a fun item to have in your shop if you do have retail space. Even if it's not something you're going to stock per se, it's a fun item to have hanging in your window or hanging out front so people know you can do that. People don't think about this kind of stuff. The lunch totes, too. The lunch totes are fantastic. If you have any of your clients that are businesses that are corporate clients, the lunch tote is a fun idea for them because it's something they might not have thought of before, especially with the healthy kick that a lot of companies are going on right now. That kick where trying to encourage the employees to be healthy. That means eating from home is healthier than eating out necessarily, right? So companies providing lunch bags and with the company logo on it. So you get where that's going. It's a fun gift idea. And of course, at the bottom of the slide, we have to acknowledge the cinch sacks, the blue, black, and pink cinch sacks at the bottom there. Now, those are most likely going to be nylon. It's not a hard and fast rule. So if you're going to do cinch sacks, make sure to pay attention to what they're made of. But usually they're nylon, which means if you're going to do a cinch sack, you do need the CAD print opaque transfers to go on nylon. But those are popular with the college kids. I cannot tell you how many of my friends during those college days had those cinch sacks. It was either for the books or it was for laundry, or those things were lifesavers because they're not as big and bulky as a backpack. They're easily crumpled up and thrown into a corner somewhere. Number 7 out of 15 here, kitchen items. There are a ton of kitchen items out there that you can actually heat press, and it's more simple than you think it is because they all sit flat. Even that glove there that you see, yes, chef. Even the glove there, it does sit flat. So as long as you have something that sits flat, you can easily get it into your shirt press. Now, if I were going to press that glove, I would probably be careful, and I'd want to raise the surface area of that just a little bit to be safe. Now, it depends, obviously. There might be seams on the glove. There might not be. But if there is some kind of obstacle on one of the layers of that glove, I would put something firm inside the glove to raise the surface area, something like a Print Perfect pad. Or perhaps a mouse pad or piece of cardboard, something firm. You don't want to put anything squishy. But then, of course, pot holders. Pot holders are a lot of fun. Now, we kept it simple here. We've got some snowflakes and we've got Merry Christmas. So definitely some fun ways to go about customizing these items. Now, one thing I want to throw out there, too, that pot holder is a fun example of multimedia. You can do some fun multimedia stuff with your heat press using the screen printed transfers and the custom rhinestones. And I don't have a picture of it in this particular webinar, I don't think, but foil is another great option too to make something look fun and blingy. So if you were really going to go to town with your Merry Christmas pot holder, you could do the rhinestones like we have, and then you can bust out some silver foil and make that Merry Christmas really blingy. So definitely some fun items, but think kitchen also. It's easy to find these items these days too. Towels are another item that's a lot of fun. If you're anything like my mother and my sister, you have towels for every occasion. There's the Christmas towels and the Thanksgiving towels, and the my mother has New Year's towels, I believe, too, actually. So it's fun to take a towel and just fold it up, find where the front corner of it will be, and it's a fun item. You can press some kind of holiday message, or God forbid, some kind of funny saying, or again, fun school idea. So towels, pot holders, all that kind of fun kitchen stuff. Definitely something to think about. And I'll throw this out there too, definitely in the kitchen area as well. We have non-apparel products here at Transfer Express, like stickers. It is possible to buy a water bottle and put a sticker on it. So again, customizable in the whole kitchen area. Tablet covers, phone cases, mouse pads, all that techie stuff. If you've got techie customers or somebody looking for a techie type of gift, mouse pads are my personal favorite, in all honesty. Everybody uses mouse pads. Everybody needs a mouse pad. It is very easy to find blank mouse pads these days, black ones or white ones or whatever color base you're looking for. They even have Oriental style mouse rugs, for gosh sake. So it's easy to find the right mouse pad, and then to put a transfer on it is super simple, as long as the mouse pad in question has that fabricy top, not plastic, obviously. You don't want to try to put a transfer on one of the plastic top mouse pads. But other than that, they've also got the laptop cases and the mouse, or laptop cases, tablet cases, that kind of stuff like you see on the right there. These are usually neoprene in some capacity, mostly made of neoprene, or like the one in the picture has some fun little ribbing on the sides there. But the neoprene is easily heat pressed onto as well. The neoprene, you can use goof-proof transfer, the screen print, without a problem. Neoprene does not melt. Of course, being used in the tech community because it's a good insulator in case anything is dropped. The neoprene absorbs shock very nicely. So definitely some fun ideas for your techie customers. Now, if you are going to press something like the neoprene cover that's on the right there, this is a great example of when you would raise the surface area. The middle portion there is where we're going to put the transfer, but the problem is you have those bright blue sides, the inserts, or I said ribbing before, that's not quite the right word, the panels, that's the word for it. Those bright blue panels, they have seams and they're thick. So the problem is when you're pressing the transfer flat in the middle of that case, those panels are going to get in the way. They're going to raise the surface area a little bit. You're not going to get a good flat flush hit with your heat press. So you fix this before you press your ABC computer repair. You put a mouse pad or a Print Perfect pad from Stalls up inside the case to raise the surface area above all the seams. So that would be the way to go about doing that. But again, some fun techie items here. Doll clothes. Doll clothes, why not? Item that I don't know necessarily if I had a retail shop if I'd stock it, but I would certainly want to put this in my shop somewhere. I would want to put this out somewhere so people could see. The whole point is to give your customers ideas, right? I mean, that's half the battle here. So doll clothes are a great idea, especially when you're going to make them match the human clothes. Definitely a fun item. And again, the layout here in the picture is one of the layouts out of the idea book. So if your customer has an idea, walk into your shop, they don't have artwork necessarily, you can bust out the idea book. They can pick that kind of stuff out. So definitely some fun tidbits here for doll clothes. And it's just like human clothes too, in the sense that you could do the fronts, you can do the backs, whatever you want to do. Of course, we're working on a smaller scale here, and again, it's the same thing that I was just talking about with obstacles. So you would want to raise surface areas again. You would want to put something inside the middle of that shirt when you press that West Geauga on the doll shirt, just to raise the surface area to make sure it does get a good clean hit. You could do the same thing with sleeves and all that good stuff too. You just have to be careful, raise the surface areas. And dog clothes. I saw somebody say it a second ago in the comment box. Dog clothes. You know what's funny about this is I live in a complex where people are walking their dogs all the time, constantly. And it's funny because no matter the size dog, I see dog clothes on every dog in the complex that I live in. Which is funny when you see the big, huge golden retriever who's wagging his tail real big and he's wearing a doggy sweater. So dog clothes are a fantastic item to customize. This is a great, great option. And you can get clever with the local school if you're going to do spirit wear dog clothes to support the Benedictine Bengals football team. Or you could just get clever. We have somebody in the office here who made her dog a Browns t-shirt. Of course, the Cleveland Browns being the local football team. Made her dog a Browns t-shirt. Why not? Why not? So definitely some fun items here. And this stuff is easily found also. You can easily find a lot of these items just by using the internet, just by using Google. So some fun ideas you might not have thought of. Now, again, dog clothes are just like human clothes. Hopefully they lay flat. Our German Shepherd here, the big guy on the right, he's wearing something that does have straps in a couple places. So in his case, you would want to unstrap everything and lay it flat. If you do have straps or snaps or Velcro that's impeding the heat press, again, you would want to raise the surface area if you had to. On the other hand, the little dog on the left-hand side here, his shirt's pretty simple. That's just a normal t-shirt, so you just lay it flat on the heat press, press it just like anything else. So some fun ideas there. Pillows. Pillows are a great idea. Pillows are one of those things that you sort of take for granted too. The pillows are a way to accent something like graduating classes or high schools or colleges or frats. Actually, frats and Greek stuff. I saw some. We have a couple Greek people with us today, so definitely some ideas. Now, there's a couple different directions to go with this, and I'm going to explain. On the right-hand side here, we have a white pillowcase. Now, the white pillowcase, we used our CAD Prints Crystal Clear. See, transfers have a texture no matter how you slice it. The transfer on the right-hand side, the Camden Town, that transfer is done with the Crystal Clear, which is very thin. It's very soft, very pleasant to the touch. So this pillow is going to be a lot easier to actually use as opposed to just make it a decorative pillow. This pillow is going to be a lot easier to use, a lot more soft to lay your head on or lean on without feeling the transfer underneath there. So Crystal Clear is a fantastic option. Now the catch being, of course, CAD Prints Crystal Clear can only go on a white fabric. So that will only work for the white ones. But on the left-hand side, the DePaul class of 2018, we've got these screen-printed goof-proof transfers. So another great idea. Now, of course, obviously, if you're going to do the whole pillow concept, you have to get a pillow in which the case can be removed. Pressing the whole pillow is not going to be effective because it's not going to be firm. It's going to be squishy. And all of that pressure that the heat press generates, that pressure is necessary to get a transfer to come off the paper. So you want to take the case off so that the pressure can actually generate and get the transfer off the paper. If you were to try to press the whole pillow, you'd get a transfer that either wouldn't come off the paper or would come right off the pillow after pressing it. So make sure if you're going to go the pillow direction, make sure you get a pillow that's got a removable case or easily removed stuffing at the very least. Baby bibs, onesies, and baby caps. This is a good idea. This is a good idea, too. Now, I'm sure we all have a baby in our lives, some way, somehow, somewhere. Baby clothes are obviously a great option. There's a ton of places to find great baby clothes, too, in terms of blanks, wholesalers, and all that stuff. So baby clothes are a great option. And, again, the bibs are customizable. If you're going to customize a bib, we do suggest the CAD Prints opaque item for the lead certifications and all that fun stuff. If that's something you're concerned about, we suggest using the CAD Print opaque. But otherwise, think outside the box. Why not customize the diaper bag? Why not customize the baby's hat? Why not customize the burp rag even? It's all very doable. And you know what? The funny thing is, you can make some cool gifts with this. Like, let's talk about the burp rag here on the left side picture. It says Future Tiger on it. Now, of course, we're being cute about supporting the local school, Future Tiger. But if you have family members who are sports fans, big-time sports fans, if you've got that football head in your life, how better to celebrate his or her child than with some kind of football-themed burp rag? So definitely a unique gift you're not going to see anywhere else. So just some fun ideas here. And then a shout out, of course, on the right-hand side there, we've got our graphic designer, Abby, with her son, Dawson. So Dawson looking cute, rocking the Mentor onesie. Go Mentor! Go Cardinals! So definitely some fun ideas here. Baby clothes are super popular, and everybody has a baby in their lives, so just about anybody who you could sell to is a viable candidate for this particular gift. Blankets. This is kind of funny because I recall seeing these starting up a couple years back, and I thought it was kind of a funny idea, but lo and behold, it's become a popular concept, heat printing onto blankets. Now, the one on the right here, this is obviously panels, fabric panels that have been pressed on and then sewn together to form a blanket, but which is a fantastic idea. But on the left-hand side, you've got just a plain old blanket, and it's easy to do a full-size 11-inch by 11-inch transfer, assuming your heat press can accommodate size-wise, of course, and just heat pressing right onto that blanket. Now, there's a ton of different places to get blankets. Now, if you're going to go to a store and get a blanket, you need to make sure that it is not heat sensitive. Otherwise, there are wholesalers out there that are selling blankets now, too, which is fantastic. And you can easily go with something simple like the left-hand side where it's just a black and white graphic, a plain spot color graphic, but using our CAD Print Express Print or CAD Print Opaque product, you could easily do photographs. You could do photographs of kids and family members. I mean, how better to celebrate the family than some kind of fun blanket with fabric panels with everybody's faces or vacation pictures or holiday pictures or anything you could possibly imagine. So definitely some neat ideas here. And the beauty, of course, of the CAD prints is that you can do that photographic artwork and you don't have to put it on just a white colored garment. Using the CAD Print Opaque or the CAD Print Express Print, you can put those on any color garment you want to. So definitely some fun ideas there. Now towels. We've talked about towels a couple times through the webinar, but just to give them their moment in particular, golf towels, beach towels, baby towels, kitchen towels. Towels are a great item because everybody needs them, everybody uses them, and why not customize them? Why not do something fun with them? It's easy to do. If you think about it, pressing a towel is as easy as pressing a shirt, if not easier. You don't have any obstacles to get in the way. You don't have any seams or buttons or anything to worry about. And if you do have a golf towel with the little clip on the end, you just hang it off the edge of the press. So very easy to decorate, very fun things to decorate as well. And of course, depending on the type of towel, you'd want to think about your transfer types. If you have a towel that's got a very high pile, the very soft and fluffy loops of material, then you might want to use the CAD print. The CAD print will provide a nice mat to mat down all those loops. Now, the goof proof will work, of course, as well, but no matter what type of towel we're talking about, we can definitely accommodate. We know that spirit towels are still super popular. We have some, God forbid, Steelers fans here at Transfer Express that have their terrible towels hanging up, and that's another great example. So the whole spirit towel concept right now being very, very super popular. And more stuff like aprons and koozies and tuba covers. There's all sorts of fun stuff. Koozies are super popular right now, and I find it funny because when I started here many years ago, I didn't even know what a koozie was. In the last couple of years, man, you see koozies everywhere. And all kinds of koozies too, all kinds of koozies. So These are fantastic. They're a great gift idea as long as they sit flat on your plaid. And that's the one catch. You want to make sure that when you do a koozie, it's not structured. You don't want to get the neoprene koozies that are already in the the cylinder shape, because those don't necessarily break down. They don't fold down. When you do a koozie, you want to make sure that it either folds flat, sits flat, unvelcros and lays flat. That's the catch to koozies. So make sure you know what you're buying for sure. But aside from that, of course, aprons are another fun idea. And remember, aprons aren't just for the cooks in your life. The handymen can use these too. But aprons are a very easy item to press on. Keep in mind, again, that you're going to have obstacles on aprons. You're going to have apron strings. You're going to have the seams. You're going to have the pockets in places, depending on the kind of apron we're talking about. So you want to make sure that if you do have those obstacles, you're avoiding them using a surface like a print perfect pad or a mouse pad. So definitely some fun ideas here as well. All right, so here's a couple tips. Now that we've talked about some ideas here, some ideas for decorating, I'm going to throw at you some fun ideas in terms of saving money, because saving money is always fun, right? Gang sheets. Gang sheets are always one of the best ways to save cash, and it's funny to me how many people don't think about this. The paper that we print on here at Transfer Express is 11 1/4 by 14. 11 1/4 by 14. So you put whatever you want on that piece of paper, and we will absolutely print it that way. Load that paper up. Now, the catch, of course, is to make sure you leave enough space for yourself to cut the images apart. We suggest 1/2 inch, give or take. That's the amount of space that we tend to put between the images just to ensure a safe cutting space. But definitely a great way to save a whole bunch of money. Now, you want to make sure that when you do start thinking about a gang sheet, you want to make sure that the ink colors are all the same. For example, the one pictured here, Davis Electric and then Weaver and Son. If Davis Electric was supposed to be gold and Weaver and Son was white, you wouldn't want to gang those together because now you've created a 2-color order. Even though Weaver and Son is only 1 color and Davis is only 1 color, they're 2 different colors. So that becomes a 2-color order. So you want to make sure that when you're doing a gang sheet, you keep all the colors the same when you're putting it all together. The other way to look at it too is even if you're doing a full-size design for one of your other customers, for a local school, for a sport of some kind or another, if they're not utilizing all the space on that sheet, that doesn't mean that you can't put something else on that sheet for one of your other customers. If somebody's doing an 11 by 11 transfer, well, the paper's 11 by 14. You still have 3 inches of space. You could easily do some small pieces of clip art, some small lines of text. We're happy to help you accommodate a gang sheet like that. If you need assistance with it, you're welcome to call us up here at Transfer Express. We'll walk you through it over the phone. Or, of course, as the picture is actually from our EasyView online designer, you can do it yourself on EasyView. So I talked about it real brief on slide number 1 or 2, I think. So we're going to go back to this for a second here. Express names are fantastic for one-offs. They're fantastic for one-offs. The bag that, the nice picture of that bag there on the left-hand side, I'm walking for Aunt Sarah. The breast cancer ribbon, we sell packs of those pink breast cancer ribbons, stock packs of those. And then we've got some express names here. It's easy to do express names, one that says I'm walking for or I'm walking, and then the second one with the rest of the text, and it's very cost effective to do these express names. You see on the right hand side we've got a stocking, we've got a Santa cap, again customized with express names. Santa hats are actually another fun little office item if you're going to do gifts for the people in your office, or if somebody's looking for office gifts, why not a Santa hat? So definitely a fun item here. And again, the express names are super cost effective. They're between $1.40 and $1.75 a piece. So you can easily sell them for $5 to $8 for the customization alone. So definitely some fun ideas, some great ways to make some money there. Price breaks. This is another tip that is surprisingly unknown to a lot of people. we have price breaks situated all over the place here at Transfer Express, all the way from 5 pieces to 500 pieces. Price breaks all over. So if you have an order for an office of 22 people, you're not going to want to do 22 transfers. The price break is at 25. You actually save yourself money. It literally saves you money to get the extra 3 pieces and store them or throw them away or do whatever you want with them. So always think about the price breaks. If you're not sure where the price breaks are when you're placing your order, ask your rep on the phone. We'll tell you where the price breaks are. Or bust out your dealer guide, your price guide. It has the price breaks in it as well. But definitely think whole numbers. So if you've got 45 pieces, we've got a price break at 50. If you've got 70 pieces, we've got a price break at 75. So when you've got a weird number like that, think about the next whole number or in fives. We can accommodate that. All right. You've heard me say it a couple times today, to raise your surface area when you're dealing with obstacles. A great way to do that, excuse me, a great way to do that is using a foam mouse pad. Mouse pads are super cheap. They're easy to find in a lot of different places, and it's a great item to have a couple of them in your shop to get around those obstacles. They come in a lot of different shapes and sizes too. For example, you can get small itty-bitty mouse pads that are supposed to be intended to use as coasters. Those are great items to have in your shop just to slip into a pocket when you're pressing on a pocket, that kind of stuff. So mouse pads are a great item for every heat printer to have, even if you're not going to sell them, just to have in your shop to use as to raise surface areas. So. And I mentioned it earlier. I was going to bring it up again here at the end. The cap press. We talked about it when we were talking about caps. This is something to think about because you can do a lot more than just caps on a cap press. You can do short sleeves. You can do bags. You can do any design that is 3x5 or smaller using a cap press. And what's funny is because the cap press itself is so much smaller, it makes it easier to maneuver around. It makes it easier to actually put the transfers in some of the more obscure places. A while back, we did T-shirts for our whole dealer services staff here at Transfer Express. And we put dealer services on the sleeve of the shirts, and we did all the sleeves with the cap press. It was very easy. It made things a lot more simple. I couldn't have imagined doing it with the regular shirt press. So cap press is definitely a versatile press to add to your lineup. Something to think about. Woof! All right. We covered a lot of information in the last 50 minutes. So if you have any questions, hopefully you got your questions out. I saw you guys keeping Sue busy with the chat box, so thank you so much for that. If you have any other questions after the webinar ends, please feel free to email them to us, info@transferexpress.com. The blog that we have at Transfer Express has a lot of this great information on it too. A lot of times before we do a webinar like this, we post the ideas on our blog as well. So hit our blog up and give it a read. If you have any questions, you can call us, of course, also 1-800-622-2280. And I would like to invite everybody to join me again next month, December 11th. We're going to talk about saving money with custom transfer sheets. We're going to go over a whole bunch of money-saving ideas, tips and tricks, and all that kind of stuff. So definitely slick and snowy where you are, because it certainly is here in Northeast Ohio. So have a great rest of your